Sadhguru Jagi Vasudev is a realized master, mystic, and yogi. He has shown the way for people to attain to their natural joy and to live life with experience from one's own inner nature. His presence is filled with grace and compassion. Sadhguru's scientific approach towards spirituality and work towards the upliftment of humanity have received accolades worldwide. The words that come from him in intensity and utmost clarity, from his deep understanding and wisdom, can change the very core of the being. Belonging to no particular tradition, Sadhguru incorporates what is most valid for the modern person from the spiritual sciences. His work, an outpouring of his blissfulness, finds expression in the form of a ceaseless offering to help all beings. Available to all who are willing, Sadhguru's life is an invitation to the divine through individual transformation. Welcome to the silent revolution of self-realization.
In April 2009, Sadhguru conducted in the lap of the Master a special 3-day satsang at Isha Yoga Center. Music by Sounds of Isha set their very own tone, while an array of cultural programs added color and flavor. Insightful discourses by Sadhguru prepared the soil. Question and answer sessions allowed the participants to delve deeper into their spiritual quest. Powerful meditation processes made the spiritual seed sprout into an experiential reality. This video shares precious moments spent in the presence of a self-realized yogi and mystic. Enjoy a spiritual exploration that leads us from the profane to the most profound.
Whatever the experience of life, whether it's light or sound or taste or smell or sensation, whatever the form of experience of pain or pleasure, every experience that you have is essentially conducted through your spine. If spine is taken away, or what passes through the spine is in some way dislocated, there will be no experience. We've always symbolized the spine as the axis of the universe, because essentially you know the universe only from the context of your experience. There is no other way to know it. You do not know anything in this world without the context of your experience. You understand what I'm saying? It's only by what's happening within you, you know, or you think you know. Because you know the existence only by the context of your experience, and the basis of your experience is what is being conducted through your spine right now. Spine is seen as the axis of the universe. Today we know that the whole solar system is just a small blob in this cosmos. Tomorrow morning, if this whole solar system evaporates, there'll be no great vacuum, just one little empty space. The rest of the cosmos will not even notice it. That's how insignificant it is. So, in yoga, they went to a different dimension and said, your spine is the axis of the universe. They're not saying this because they believe that you are in the center of the universe. Because you are capable of knowing the universe only from the context of your experience. And the basis of your experience is in your spine. If any individual has to truly determine the nature of his experience on this planet, 100%, then having a little bit of mastery over the spine becomes essential. Only that one who anyway determines the nature of his experience would dare to explore the full potential of his life because he wouldn't hesitate to step into anything. If your experience is determined by anything other than yourself, naturally you'll try to avoid a few things and go after a few things. Whatever you consider as those which instigate or stimulate pleasant experiences, you go after that. Whatever you think will create unpleasant experiences, you'll go away from that. Once this division happens in your consciousness, that you divide the existence into two, knowing the ultimate unity becomes unnecessarily difficult. Why so much stress and joy, love, blissfulness is simply because of this, so that your experience is not determined by something else. Once, if you sit here and you think, this tree creates pleasant experience for you and that tree creates unpleasant experience for you, naturally you will never step in that direction, you'll only hang around here. That's what is happening right now. That's what is happening with every aspect of life. So once you divide the world, people have been telling you silly things that you should love your enemies. I don't know why you have to make your life so hard. First make an enemy out of somebody and then try to love him. It's very difficult. Isn't it very difficult? If you don't make him your enemy, it would be easy. You make him your enemy and then you try to love him. This is an impossible condition. No? They always want to set impossible things for you so that you'll constantly go there. Let's look at the possibilities. Unless you do not divide the world, it's very difficult to embrace the world, isn't it? In your consciousness, if you divide that this is mine, this is not mine, then trying to grab everything is very difficult. Either everything is mine or nothing is mine, this is okay. Nothing is mine, this is one way, it is okay. Or everything is mine, this is okay, it'll work. These are workable solutions. You are my enemy, but I love you. This is very, very difficult. It's a torture. And the fundamental for dividing the world is somewhere one entity causes pleasantness, another entity causes unpleasantness within you. That's why you divide the world, isn't it? It is essentially a survival mode. You know if you go here, it'll be unpleasantness. You know if you go there, it'll be pleasantness. So slowly you start going there, not here. And after some time you cannot go there at all because you know the level of unpleasantness that happens within you. Only if you are determining the nature of your experience, you can keep it pleasant within yourself no matter where you are. If people cause unpleasantness, they can do it only around you, never within you. Once this freedom is there, it's only then you can truly be inclusive. Otherwise you get stuck. Every little sound that you hear, see if you can conduct it through your spine. Everything that you see if you can conduct it through your spine. Right now, I'm speaking. The sound itself is not flowing through this wire, but in the form of electrical impulse. It is going through this wire, through the speakers, and boom. If I get this, that's not going to work, this is not going to work. Spine is just like this. Spine itself doesn't know anything, but it is conducting everything. Only the one who understands that all this bunch of wires out there can manage this sound properly, how it should be. We've been having some trouble, you know, because too many wires. Only if you understand every wire that's out there, you can manage this sound just the way you want it. Otherwise, in between so many things will happen. The same with this one. If you have a little mastery over how it's being conducted, then you can ensure what kind of experience you're producing for yourself. Otherwise, everything becomes accidental. Once the very experience of your life is happening accidentally, once your very way of being is accidental, if you're existing here accidentally, then that's like being a potential calamity, you know. Just the fear, what'll happen to me, what'll happen to me, destroys everything. The beauty and the gracefulness of being human will be completely lost once the fear of what will happen is there in my mind. You can… animals are doing quite fine. Lot of the temptation. Any number of philosophers have gone into the forests, watch the quiet, gentle, can't say gentle, the quiet natural life that animals are having. People have been hugely drawn to it, and they have tried to move into the forest and live just like them, simple. This draw is big time because of the chaos of human societies. But what you need to understand is, it's never going to work, because the sense of peacefulness that an animal has is coming from a certain level of unawareness, a certain level of unconsciousness. You cannot fall back there, do what you want. Do what you want. You cannot fall back into the unconscious nature of an animal. Nature has pushed you on into this level of consciousness. You try as hard as you want. You can try hard and become conscious. You cannot try hard and become unconscious, please see this. At least this much nature has taken care for you, that you can only move forward, not backwards. Philosophers and others, various types of people, have tried to live as simply as animals live, hoping that life will become okay. But it's not worked. It is not the complexity of external situation which is doing this. It is just that we are not determining the nature of our experience within ourselves. It is in an animal's nature to look upon, in the evenings, if you just stand outside the ashram, you will see hundreds of deer, always alert, fearful, always, in the evenings especially, because they know this is dinner time for somebody. You will see every moment they are fearful, but the next moment they are munching away at some leaf, they are very peaceful. Little noise. They live their life all the time like this. If you see a mother deer with a baby, with her babies, she will look upon them tenderly. But she cannot do that with anything else. Unfortunately, most human beings also have fallen into that space. They can only look upon tenderly upon things that they consider as theirs. They have become incapable of looking at tenderly at every aspect of life. If you do not know how to look at this tree with a certain tenderness in your heart, you are not yet human, I'm telling you. You're not yet human. If you cannot look at that rock with tenderness in your heart, you're not yet human. It's an evolutionary problem. I'm not blaming you. But what you need to understand is, even the evolutionary process has been handed over to you once you're human. Right now, in the next few hours, if you want, you can evolve phenomenally. Or you can live here for 1,000 years and not evolve. Even the evolution has been handed over to you. The next few hours, if you want, you can evolve phenomenally. Or 10,000 years, you can remain stagnant. Both are possible for you. That is the beauty of being human, that it's possible. Human beings are not great, but they are a great possibility. Between the possibility and reality, there is a distance. Are we going to walk the distance? It's the question for every human being. Are we going to walk this distance, or are we going to spend our lives just like any other creature on this planet, trying to fall back into the peacefulness of animal nature, which is of no consequence, and you can never do it as good as the animals, I'm saying. You cannot be as peaceful as a cow, try as hard as you want. Yes? Can you? You cannot be. You may manage it, you eat, they're not serving today, but I think there's a restaurant open. You eat a lot of pongal, it does usually. You know why people in the south are so peaceful? You eat a lot of pongal. Very peaceful. It does. So, people have tried excessive eating, intoxicants, excessive indulgence in pleasures. With all these things, they have tried to create some kind of peacefulness within themselves. You thought you got there, but next moment you know you're not there. Any number of times it's deceived you, isn't it? Yes? One Saturday evening, your whole family met, all of you had a wonderful dinner, you thought this is the height of the world. Everything is so wonderful, magical. Tomorrow morning you see, not because there is something wrong with your family. It is just that with limited entity, you're trying to create an unlimited space. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Nothing wrong, it's just that it doesn't work. There are lots of great things in the world which don't work. I'm not interested in them, that's all. You interested in great things? Are you interested in great things? Oh, thank you. I'm not interested in great things. I'm only interested in things that work. I don't want to… There are lots of great things. People claim they're great things, but they don't work, they have not worked for anybody. They're great things because somebody says so. They're great things because somebody thinks too much of himself and whatever he says or does must be great things. But they don't work. We are looking for something that works. If you are determining the course of your experience right now, 100%, you're beginning to, the legs are bloody, legs are aching like crazy, but still, it's beginning to work. If you are determining the nature of your experience right now, 100%, let's say, we have to assume that, if you are, then would somebody have to tell you, please create a pleasant experience? Would somebody have to tell you? No. So somebody telling you be loving, be blissful is all bullshit. Yes or no? Because nobody needs to tell you, be pleasant. The problem is you're not able to determine the nature of your experience, isn't it? Yes? The problem is you're unable to determine the nature of your experience for whatever reasons. If you could determine the nature of your experience, nobody has to tell you, be blissful, be loving, be happy, be this. This is all coming from, patchy ideas about life. You see somebody fighting, you say be loving. You see somebody unhappy, you say blissful. It's most insulting. When somebody is in a great state of unhappiness, going and telling be blissful is most insulting, isn't it? No? But these are all the great teachings on this planet, which have been on for centuries. These are all great things that have never worked. So, we are only seeing how to determine the nature of your experience. If you take charge of what causes experience within you, if you are in charge of that, I'm 100% sure you will make it very pleasant for yourself. And I'm also sure, if you are feeling very pleasant within yourself, you would be naturally pleasant to everybody around yourself. Can I trust you on that one? Yes. You're feeling wonderful within yourself. However everybody else is behaving, you are still magnanimous, aren't you? Have you noticed this with yourself? When you're very pleasant, somebody's getting excited, but it doesn't matter, you try to do your best. And when you're feeling very pleasant, your body and your mind will work at its best. Is that also true? Is it also true that if you want to be successful in this world, it is not because stars are aligning properly. It is just that if you know how to harness your body and your mind in the best possible way, you are successful. Is that so? It's your ability to use these 4 limbs and a few brain cells which makes you successful. It is not alignment of stars. The damn stars, many of them don't even exist actually. Do you know? They're not even in existence. They have nothing to do with you. And they don't care a damn about you, I want you to know. Now because this kind of nonsense has been spread around, oh, the core of the universe is love. Love is a human emotion. Dogs and human beings are capable of being loving. The core of the universe does not need bloody love. You think it needs? You think the core of the universe need to be loving? No. It just has to keep the spin going. It doesn't need any love to do that. No, but even the atoms are bound by love. It's very poetic. I appreciate that. It's not that I'm not capable of that. It's poetic, it's romantic, it's nice. When you say something romantic, at the bottom you should say, these are just sweet nothings. If you say, this is the truth, then somebody else reads it and he's looking up for love, you know. Now, all these things, I'm not trying to talk against somebody. What I'm saying is, unfortunately, people have taken it upon themselves to confuse the humanity so badly about their own nature. See, it's very simple, it doesn't take any damn scripture or a guru to tell you this. It's very simple, whatever the nature of your experience, it's happening within you. Is it so? You don't need some great yoga or a scripture or a guru or a stone that falls from heaven to tell you this. If the nature of your experience, whatever is the nature of your experience, whether it is fear, anger, love, hatred, ecstasy, agony, everything is happening from within you, it would be very natural for human beings to look and see how to make it into a most pleasant experience, isn't it? If you had not freaked them, God loves you from up there. If you had not exported love to heaven, lot of human beings would have been very loving human beings. But now we have exported it out there, you have to import it. For importing it, you need permit. And there are agents here who don't give those permits so easily. It's not coming across because all the love has gone to heaven. How to get it now? Here there's a priest standing here with a permit. He won't give it to you. Whether you want to experience blissfulness, whether you want to experience love, whether you want to experience ecstasy, whatever states of pleasantness human beings have known have come from within them. Is that so? So, there is no need to apply for any permit from anywhere. You just have to become willing to explore what this is, to bring this to the most pleasant state. Not because it's a virtue. Love is not a virtue. Bliss is not a virtue. To be pleasant is not a virtue. It's just that is the way you long to be, isn't it? It is not that if you're loving, you'll go to heaven. It is not that if you're ecstatic, you'll go to heaven. It is just that if you're loving and ecstatic, you don't need a damn heaven. People who've made a hell out of themselves want to go to heaven. People who've made a heaven out of themselves, where do they want to go? Wherever the hell they go, they don't care. So, it's very, very important. If you want to ensure… Is the volume correct? If you want to ensure that the sounds that this one produces is good, the more you know about this whole mechanism, the better sound you produce, isn't it so? Sometimes by chance it may happen, that's different. But the more you know about it, the better. If you are a sound engineer, you produce good sound. So if you are an inner engineer, then you make this the way you want. That's all it takes. It doesn't need anything. It is just that because it's in a different direction than the way you're constantly looking through your sense perception, you need help, maybe. Not necessarily, but generally, yes. You need a certain amount of help, but that's all. Grace is just that help, that it creates a conducive atmosphere to slip in. If any machinery has to perform well, people have started using these words everywhere these days. You need lubricants, some lubricant. Try to… whatever the great car you have, try to run it without oil. Not 10 minutes, it'll be ruined, isn't it? It's the lubricant which is keeping it going. All this great machinery, without that little bit of that thin film of lubricant, it's all destroyed in no time. Grace is just that little lubricant so that things happen smoothly. Now they've started calling it liquid engineering. Everybody started doing it. It's appropriate. It takes liquid engineering. So, this takes little engineering. Grace is just a lubricant. Without the lubricant, if you try to work, the friction, just the friction of life has destroyed too many human beings, isn't it? Yes? Nothing big they did. All they did was simple things. They were born which was not their doing, they didn't do such a big thing. That just happened. They just want to eat well, sleep well, fulfill their basic needs. This is all they want to do. In the process of doing this, how many human beings are broken and bitter and destroyed? Because no lubricant. Nothing wrong with them. They're trying to work their engines without a lubricant. That's all it is. Just see, even your cell phone is working because through thin air, they're conducting the sound for you, isn't it? We can just disturb that. You know those advertisements, hello, 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 hello. You're seeing those things. Phones become like that because there is a little bit of disturbance. That's what is happening with this also. This is a far more sophisticated instrument than anything that you have seen. This needs a little bit of attention. If you pay attention, it pays off. Just pay attention to your spine.
You are my perfect mirror, you show me what I'm not. In the endless pit of what layer and layer you peel off me. The pain it is, but the joy it brings. So thank you for showing me what I'm not, for showing me what I could be.